coming sideways or stay in? Alright, y'all. Today is a really bittersweet day. I am letting go of some bikes that have meant a lot to me over the past few years, and this one in particular. I just, after doing the video on each of my bikes and realizing I have 20 and a lot of them are just not doing anything, I posted a bunch online. This one got a ton of positive reaction, and so I'm letting it go, and for not a lot of money either, $650, but like I'll walk you through this thing, and I just wanted to give it a little bit of a send-off and take you through it. So here we go. So this is my 1986 Panasonic DX5000 frame set. It is a Tange 1, basically Japanese top-of-the-line road bike. It's sitting on Dura Ace hubs, Mavic Open Pro ceramic wheel set, WTB Exposure 30C tires, which are too big for the rear, but good for the front. Some things I've done to it, well, one, rode the ever-loving crap out of it for so long. Like, this was my gravel bike, pre-gravel bikes. Basically, I didn't get into the whole cyclocross thing. I just rode this everywhere, and definitely beat it. Along with that was the fork, like the original fork was too flexy for it, the steel. So like by the time I had all my leverage on this size 56 or size 57 frame going through the woods, it just ended up being way too much of a noodle. So I sourced this carbon fork for it. It's like a Dimension brand. I painted it and put a kind of half-ass sticker on it. It has an aluminum straight 1-inch steerer, and then a Chris King no thread headset for 1-inch, and then it has a Thompson spacer that spaces the 1-inch to 1.1 inch, and then the Ritchie Classic cockpit. And that made for a much stiffer front end, so that was really a huge upgrade for me. Ultegra, these were, so I had bought these at the time of the build. They were super cool. In hindsight, I would have done something a little bit different, but I was going for something I could afford because I was in college and performance, so that's how I ended up with those brakes and that crankset. On the rear here is that Dura Ace. I forget which generation it is, but I've had a few different derailleurs on there, and the best performing one was the Ultegra that matched, obviously, but I put the Dura Ace on for the bling. The rear hub is Dura Ace as well. Again, with the Open Pros, these rims have a couple thousand miles on them. They probably have 4,500 miles on them. They've been on a bunch of different bikes. All these pieces were on another frame before I built this one, and I had bent the rear triangle on that other frame, so I ended up just frame swapping over to this, which has been a really great frame. It's triple butted, so it's super thin there in the middle, and in fact when I bought it, the guy I bought it from had two, and he put them on his bike rack on like one of those, frame bike racks, and bent the other one because it's so thin. So I didn't even actually end up buying that one. I just bought this. In keeping with the Ritchie, I've got the Ritchie Classic seat post here. This Cell Italia saddle that I obviously fell in love with. What else? Yeah, converted the cranks over to Holotech BB. It has these, inline stoppers. This was pretty early too, like all this stuff, the original build was probably like 09, so all that stuff was like kind of new. I don't know if it was new, but it was definitely new to me, and I hadn't seen it a lot. So anyways, that's that bike. It's beautiful. I love it. It's my wife's favorite bike, and I didn't even know that she had a favorite. So that is, that's something. Oh, also something else is, when I rebuilt this, I was working in a bike shop that had a fit machine, and so this is physique bar tape that is specific to fit machines, which is kind of funny. Like, you couldn't get that color anywhere else besides being a pro fitter. Now I'm sure you can. Back then it was cool. So yeah, anyways, bittersweet. Selling for only $650, which I know I'm gonna kick myself for the future, but I need the space. I want to move some stuff so I can make some more stuff happen. And I want this to go to a good home, and I think it's going to, so that's that. Bye bye.